guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Haley, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys everything you asked, everything you need to know about my destination wedding. So if you are new around here, I got married July 10th of this year in Riviera Maya, Mexico at Unico Resort, Unico 2087, and it was literally the best experience of my life. So we're gonna get all into the details today, how hard it was to plan, cost, travel, all that kind of stuff. So before we get started, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. I do post new videos every week. I do a lot of fashion stuff, lifestyle, vlogs, all that kind of junk. So go ahead and subscribe and let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so like I said, I got married in Riviera Maya, Mexico at the resort called Unico 2087. It is literally the most gorgeous, amazing resort. They have the best food, the best rooms. Everything was just so good and so easy working with them. We had about 20 guests come. It was mostly family. We also flew out our photographer, and that was awesome. So those are kind of the logistics of the wedding, like where it was, how many people, all that kind of stuff. So now I can go into some questions. So the first question was, why did you decide to do destination instead of being home? And there are many reasons. The first reason is Brad and I are just such beach people that's always like been in the back of our minds. Like when we decided that we were gonna get married, even before we got engaged, is something that we thought about. And also after we did get engaged, we looked at some venues like around where we live, and this is absolutely no shade to anyone who decides to get married in their hometown or get married somewhere locally, but everything we saw just looked kind of been there, done that. A lot of stuff around here, like it's a barn, and like that's pretty for some people, but it's just so not our style. And everything just kind of seemed a little cookie cutter to me. So we decided to just not do anywhere around here. Again, that's no shade to anyone. There are so many beautiful weddings in these venues that I've seen, like stunning weddings. So it's not about that at all. It's just our personal taste was to do something a little bit different. And also a ton of people do destination weddings, and those can be cookie cutter too. So obviously there's cons to both sides. That just fell into our taste. Second of all, price was a major aspect. You wouldn't think so, but it probably costs 2 to 3 times more to get married somewhere locally than it did to get married destination. And we're talking just for the venue. Like just the venue at the place we were kind of considering. Like we weren't excited about it, but we were like, if we have to get married somewhere around here, then we would choose this. It was like $7,000 just for the venue. That's not including tables, not chairs, not including people's transportation, like if you wanted to get a shuttle, not including any decor, no flowers, no dress, nothing. So that is just for the building itself. And it's just insane. Like I feel like we got everything for such a reasonable price, like down to the decor, down to the food, flights, everything. It ended up being so much cheaper. So that's another aspect. And don't let destination scare you if you're like on a budget. Actually look into that more than you would something local, because chances are you're gonna find something better for a lot cheaper and people get a vacation out of it. So there just were so many pros and not very many cons, and that is why we decided to do destination. Should I go on? I don't think so. I think I've made my point. Second question, these are kind of the same, so I'll just read them together. How hard was it to plan, and what was the planning process? So again, don't let the planning process deter you from destination, because I seriously did not lift one finger. I did nothing. I showed up to the plane, got on it, went and got married. And that is credited all to our travel agent. We worked with the most amazing travel agent. Her name is Carrie. She's with Beach Bum Vacations, and she literally picked out the resort for me, booked it for us, booked it for all our guests, found all our flights, booked all our flights, booked our shuttles to the resort, made sure we had an amazing time at the resort, kept checking in with us, booked our shuttles back and our flights home. Like she did everything for us. It was so amazing, and I could not have planned this without her, like at all. Because most of the decor stuff, we just went with what was in the package, so we didn't even have to worry about that either. And this really was all we had to worry about. She did everything. Like we had to postpone for a year because of, we all know why. Okay, we're not even gonna say the P word, okay? But we had to postpone for a year, and she handled all of that, all the logistics. She sent us so many updates like about the state of like safety in Mexico, and she just like could not have been better. She was in constant communication, and she's the sweetest. So if you are planning a destination wedding, you need to hire her, because it's literally life-changing, and it's not any more expensive to hire her. Like if you were gonna pay, because you pay through them and they pay the resort because they have a relationship with the resort. So literally it's like using a real estate agent. Like if you're buying a home, you don't pay any extra. So definitely look into her and that whole company if you are planning a destination wedding. She specializes in like tropical locations. She's been to all these resorts before, so she knows exactly how the food is. She's seen the decor, she's seen it all. So whatever you're looking for, she has experience in. So this is actually just a video love letter to you, Carrie. So thank you so much for everything you did for us. It was amazing. So to answer your question, it was not hard to plan at all. And the planning process was I hired her and she did everything. And that's it. Keep in mind too, Brad and I both, if we did have to plan the wedding, it just wouldn't happen. It just would not have got planned, because for things like that, we both have no urgency, like at all. We have no urgency and we don't know what we're doing. So we had to do that or just not have a wedding. So that's really what we did. Next question, how did you accommodate for all guests? Did you plan where they would stay / transportation? So like I said, we worked with a travel agent and Carrie worked with our entire group. So basically we told her exactly who we were inviting, and she sent them an itinerary with all information. And most of the people that went, in fact, all of them, made this their own vacation and ended up staying longer than just the 3-day minimum for the wedding. So people ended up making it a vacation, and everyone stayed at the same resort. So we were all at the same resort. It just made it so much easier, and we were able to get a really good group rate that way. And then people just through Carrie would book their own flights and their own rooms through her. And it was super simple. So basically she was able to keep track of all of that. So we knew exactly who was coming, exactly when people were arriving, and when they were landing, and how long they were staying, all that kind of stuff. So it was really easy. Again, I didn't do any of that. It was all Carrie. So that's how. How did you trust the venue to have everything right? LOL. You have to. You just have to, especially if it's out of the country. I'm telling you, like towards the end, I was getting a little bit antsy just because I hadn't heard anything back from like the flowers. Like I wanted to tell them the colors I wanted. Like literally we're talking like 2 weeks before the wedding, and no one had reached out to me about like to confirm our menu or to confirm like my flowers, because the package showed red flowers and I wanted everything to just be white. So that was a little nerve-wracking, but they do everything in the 11th hour. Like you just have to know and trust that. And especially with things like such as flowers and food and stuff, you don't want to do that too far out, because they want to order it as like within the last minute, so it's all fresh. Because we had all fresh flowers on our arch, we had it, my bouquet, all the flowers like that we're decorating. So that's kind of why they do it that way. But yeah, you literally just have to release control, because they're in another country. They do speak really good English there, which is not their job to do. So that's like so impressive. We're the ones coming there to get married. We should be trying to speak Spanish for them, but they're really great about communicating. But like they just don't have that sense of urgency, because they know it's gonna get done. They've done this a million times, and like I'm coming in being like, and they're like, girl, we've literally done this 1,000 times. So you just have to trust, and everything literally was perfect down to the songs. I did put together a whole playlist for the ceremony. I picked all the music and put it on one track for them. So yeah, the whole time I really wasn't worried, because like I said, everything was just being taken care of for me. But within the last couple weeks when I was starting to get worried, you just have to let go and just trust that it'll get done, because it did, and it all worked out. So I can't obviously speak for any other resorts or anyone else's experience. Maybe it is harder to trust them, but if you're getting married at Unico, you can trust that everything is being done perfectly. Next question is, did you fly out your own photographer or use one on site? And I think I already mentioned this. We did fly out our photographer. She's also named Carrie. So travel agent and photographer, both Carrie. We did a shoot with her back in like 2018. We fell in love with her work, and we knew that when we went to get married, we wanted her to do our wedding and engagement pictures. So she did our engagement photos back in 2019. And we booked her for our wedding because we just knew we had to have her, and the pictures turned out phenomenal. We flew her out, and they ended up wanting to make a vacation out of it too. So of course we paid for her flight and hotel for the 3 days, and then they decided, her and her boyfriend, we paid for her to have a +1 because I'm not having girls out here traveling internationally alone. So her boyfriend, or excuse me, fiance, because they got engaged, came along, and he was super helpful and kind of assisted her because he is in that same field that she's in. So they were amazing. I'm sure we could have hired someone on site for photography, but I am so picky in my style of photography that I like. I think a lot of beach wedding pictures can turn really cheesy really fast. And I knew that we were in good hands with Carrie. She sees my vision. She has very like minimalistic, like clean style, and just like, it's not over edited. Like I hate the over edited, like smooth everything photos, and her style is just so cool and just so us. So we found it worth it to hire her and bring her along with us. And she's just an amazing person. We love talking to her. Her and Chris, her fiance, were awesome. So this is me just like writing a love letter to all my vendors. Do you wish you invited more people? So we probably invited like 32 people, and out of those 32 people, 20 came. I think 20 was including us, or including our photographer and her date, but I'm not 100% sure. But quite a few people didn't come. It ended up just being family, and with an exception to my maid of honor, Madison, and her fiance, Garrett. So it was literally like all family besides them, and they are family, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But a lot of our friends did plan on coming before we had to postpone it, and then like other things in life happened, like one is having a baby. So people had like life school stuff that they couldn't really control to make them not able to come this year. So that's totally fine. And we were really happy with the amount of people that were there. I felt like it was just really nice to spend time like with our families and have them get to know each other, because it was honest, this is a little embarrassing, but our parents didn't meet until like my bridal shower, and like they didn't really spend that much time together until Mexico. So it was nice for our families to get to hang out, get to know each other, and for us not to have to split our time so much, because I feel like if we got into like inviting like 50 people or something like that, then you get into like, who do you spend more time with, and it's harder to kind of like take time for just like you two as a couple and enjoy yourself. So we were really happy with the number. I think 20 is a perfect number, and yeah, that's what we did. So no, I don't wish we invited more people. Of course, I wish our friends that wanted to come could come, but what can you do about that? Nothing. So where did you get your dress? So I got my dress at a place in Greenwood, Indiana. I live in that area. At a store called Bridal Rack, and they have a bunch of different designers that were just like maybe one season behind, or they are the same season, but they like just had like a surplus. So that's kind of how that is. And my dress, literally, like it was the third or fourth dress I tried on. I was like, yeah, this one is the one. Like I tried on a dress after it, and I was like, nope, that one was the one. And I was super low-key about it, but I knew as soon as I saw it, I wanted it so bad. And it was a Lazaro dress. I'll put pictures of it if I haven't already. and it was just beautiful. We didn't know where we were getting married when I picked it out either, and I think it's such a beachy dress. So it was just meant to be. Everything fell into place, and I love my dress, so that's where I got it. And I'm really happy with it. All right, next question. This one's gonna be pretty obvious. Do you recommend a destination wedding? Absolutely I do, for all the reasons I've said this whole video. If you've been considering it, really look into it because it's so much more doable than you think. So look into it, call my travel agent, call her up. I'll put all the information down below. And it was just so beautiful. And like, we'll have those memories like with our family forever. Like, it made us want to take more trips together and like do more fun, adventurous things together. So it's just like once in a lifetime thing, and like you want to go all out for it. It's your wedding, so you don't want to settle. So if you've been wanting to do destination and you're intimidated, do not settle. Just find a way to make it happen. And this will be the last question. What was your favorite part about having a destination wedding? Oh, that's so hard to pick one part. I would say just like the location itself was my favorite part because it was so beautiful and like everything I dreamed of. It was just stunning. So that's probably my favorite part. And the fact that we got to basically take a trip with all of our family and just like have an amazing time. So that was my favorite part. All right, guys, that is it for all the questions. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you're engaged or if you are gonna be getting engaged soon, if you're already getting married. Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you've been married for a while, tell me about your wedding. I wanna hear about it down in the comments. And again, make sure you're subscribed. It really does help me so much. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
Never